Yes, I'm back and I've started on Dinting Station. So stay tuned and all will be revealed. Well, finally, I welcome you back to Piccadilly. It's been a very, very, very long time since I said that, and the job that I've been doing over the past 6 months is now done, and I can now move on to other things, and I can certainly get back to starting the railway and certainly get back to Dinting Station, which is what I've missed. I haven't been up here and done anything to this layout in 6 months, which for me has been heartbreaking, as you can appreciate. So that's Dinting Station as was. Just to give you a bit of a recap, it's all white, it's a bit difficult to see, but you've got a road coming in here. And it is a modified version of Dinting Station, as you can appreciate, because space. There is normally a road that would follow the railway line down this way, but I can't put that in because it's very tight. And I've obviously got to I've got a road going off in that direction, and it's going to go over the bridge and meet the back scene, that type of thing. So that's all ready to be papier mache, which I'll do shortly. For those who haven't seen it, and for new subscribers, this is New Mills Central. And I did that, well, probably 2 or 3 years ago, to be honest, but it was upgraded last year, towards the end of the year. And the bottom half, this bit still needs to be done, but that will all be done when I do this bit. And just to remind you, I will be building the New Mills mill that was there, or a representation of it here anyway. Those lines will be covered with a removable section, all of that, so I can then just put buildings there, and these 2 lines will appear to go off as if into the distance, type of thing. And just to give you a brief run around the layout, it is a bit of a mess, I'm afraid, because this was how it was left. So there's the main line running around, and that is the line coming around here. I'll move this piece of paper so you can see that line just come around there like that. And, well, I don't think I'll show you the disaster over there, to be fair. It's just messy. It's nothing, I'm not ripped up any track or anything, but I'll just reserve that for that view. And for those who have not seen Manchester Piccadilly, it's been a very, very, very long time since I did anything or said anything about this station. But as I said, that is complete. And if you would like to know how that was done, there is a whole raft of videos about varying aspects of the whole station. So if you'd just like to look back through the video collection, you'll see how I went about doing that. So now, let's not waste any more time. Let's get on to Dinting. First job, papier mache. And so here we are then. So I've literally just got a load of newspaper. That's neat PVA. And I've also built up a little bit more of this area with some more masking tape. So I'm now going to go over this area, neat PVA all over, and then start sticking bits on, and then more PVA over the top, stick more bits on, and so on and so on. I've built this little, I suppose you'd call it a shed really. I presume it was for electrics. Because there's an electrical device thing here. I'm not sure quite what it is, but so that's actually there, and then the wall will come down here. So this bank actually comes right down to this part here now, leaving a small gap around there for a path, and there's a little gate and a fence down there as well. Wasn't sure when I first built it how this looked, but I think it will look an awful lot better when it's got trees and lots more foliage on it. All right, I will crack on with that and I'll show you all in a minute. All right, there we go so far. So you can see I'm literally just putting neat PVA on top of that and just pasting the paper over the top. You might be saying, well, why are you not watering the PVA down? Because it takes so much longer to dry. I mean, it's obviously July here now, July the 22nd, but this is not far off dry already. Obviously, you can see the shine of the top surface, but underneath, I mean, it's not quite dry, but it's not far off. And that will be dry by tonight. So I should be getting a top coat of emulsion on top of that. So hopefully it will be starting to look like the landforms. Anyway, I'll crack on and get all of this done, and I'll talk to you shortly. Right, so there we are. It does look a little bit strange, doesn't it? But as you can see, I've done all the papier mache and I've put paint on now. It's not completely correct yet. I want to go over the road again with a grey and a paler grey to sort of make it a mixed colour. It is all a bit wrinkly at the moment, but hopefully as that dries it should start to settle down a little bit. So I'm going to leave it now for a little while and I'll come back to you shortly. Welcome back. So you can appreciate it's taken a little while to get to that stage. So the most obvious thing is we've got the paths in now and there are curbstones there. They are a bit paler than the rest, so hopefully that stands out in certain places at least. It does look a little bit rough, and it's supposed to. There are potholes in the roads and things like that, so I want to try and replicate that. But I mean, even the path here, the path would continue, to be honest, but the amount of space that I've got here wouldn't allow for a large vehicle and a car to pass, so I've sort of fizzled the path out a little bit there. Obviously roads are not all paved on both sides, or one side even, so that's the way it's going to be. Pavement on that side just stops that point, and then there's parking bays down the far side of that, just down that side. So we're getting there. I want to try and get the road markings on, the platform markings on before I go too much further. And then after that, it'll be walls and fences and things like that. So there's a little bit to do before we get to the grassing, but it's coming. I'll catch you shortly. Well, there we go. That's the road symbols on for now. And obviously you can see I've now got the parking bays in, and there is obviously a crossing. I do want to put some more buff colour over these two parts. They seem to be a lot more creamy colour than they do the white, and obviously this area here. This area for disabled parking is actually wrong, purely because I've had to modify it purely because of space. There is actually one space coming this way and there is another space just there, and although I could fit another one in there, I've decided just to go for the one, purely not to make it look too cluttered. I think it's a danger when you're struck for space that you overdo it and then it just looks too much. So I think one will be sufficient for the imagery of it all, to be honest. Anyway, obviously we've got this area at the bottom here, with the no parking across the bottom. If you look on Google Maps, or Google Earth I should say, if you look on Street View, the actual continuous track, you'll see this road which looks a little bit more run down and dilapidated, but there seems to be a more common feature coming in now where you've got spot cameras where they put a spot and a 360 camera does a complete rotation. And if you look on those, it's pretty amazing really, because it goes all the way up the platforms, both sides, and into the buildings as well, I think. It certainly does at Glossop and Hadfield, which I'm just finding amazing really, because I've got all the information I need now, just from that. But if you look at it for this part here, it does curve around on the older view, and there's like a tarmac ramp there, and you can see I actually started to put it in. And then I thought, well, to be honest with you, because I'm modelling the station as modern day, I'm probably better off putting the actual angle in as it is more now than what it was maybe a few years ago. So that's why, if you look at it, you'll see exactly what I mean. It's almost like a time warp, the two different versions of it. But we can work it out. So my next stage now is to start putting fences in down the sides and walls and things like that. The fences are obviously being 3D printed. There are a few gates somewhere down here and varying other places as well. So I've got to position those and get those painted up, etc, etc. So I'll show you when I've done that. And the final stage of this video, so this will be adding a bit of grass. I'll show you what's down there shortly, so you can see all that once it's all completed for this bit. All right, speak soon. Well, there we go. That's about as much as I can manage for this video. These areas are not finished yet by any means. There's trees got to go in there, static grass has got to go in there, but you can get the idea of what's happening there. So that's Dinting Station, and I've put a wall in there. I do believe that wall continues up here, but until I've got the building in, I didn't want to do too much grassing down here because I've got a feeling I'm going to have to rip this out. And there's another building going here. So again, until I've got all that done, I don't really want to go too much further, to be honest. But you can certainly get the idea of where we're going with that. And hopefully those in the know, familiar with the entrance there being those curved walls and down the big long slope. I know it's a lot bigger than what I've got, but at the end of the day you have to make use of what you've got in terms of space. But to show you from the other side, there we go. You can see, get the view from the platform as such. There's the road going up, and obviously there's a fence running around here. I was hoping to be able to get that in, but there was a problem with the design and the print, so I couldn't do that too much. But I've weathered or buffed those up now, so they're more yellowy type colour. But it's certainly coming along. I'm quite pleased with the way that's happening. I mean, that's all done in one day, so I don't think it's going to take long to do this station, to be honest. But now I'm on holiday, I should be able to crack on with it, and hopefully in a week or so's time this will be complete. So anyway, hoping to get more videos out much more quicker now. So join me soon. Take care of yourself, and bye for now.